Hey guys, it's Thursday night, and that means it's time for Gotbot Goes live. You may notice in the background kind of a fan going, and I apologize for that. I actually have a video saving at the moment, so it may mess us up a little bit. I'm sorry if it does. Try and bear with me. I didn't want to delay the show, but time is running tight for me. I, of course, am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka Gotbot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, man, hit that notification bell because it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man and the Everything Factor. Check out Transformers Collectors NL and the Autobot family. And of course, check me out, man, everywhere across social media. I am so thankful and appreciative that you're giving me some of your time here tonight, as I am each and every week, hopefully. Let's try to just adjust this a little bit. I have to get a few things ready. I see people coming into the chat. We have a bunch of stuff to cover. I want to try and get through it somewhat quickly because, the last few shows, man, have ran really long. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to be hanging out with you guys. Trust me. But I don't know if everybody is down for such a long show sometimes. By the way, fun fact, my shortest live show since I started this was 22 minutes. That was a really short one. Okay, so obviously I have to get a few things ready here, so bear with me. You know how this goes by now. This isn't new. But things may be, I don't know, delaying a little bit because of a lot of the computer's resources being used to save this video that I edited. This computer's old, man. What do you want? It is what it is. And actually, right now, I'm waiting for the chat to come up, and it's not even coming up. So you can see Starscream wife in the background, repairing her favorite sweater, in case you were wondering what she was doing back there. Bear with me here. I know this is taking a little longer than usual to kind of set up, but like I said, we're having that kind of a night, man. We're having that kind of a show tonight, you know. Let me know, by the way, if you can actually hear the fan in the computer. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'd certainly be interested to know if you can hear it. Okay, and if this wants to work with me, though it probably doesn't want to work with me because that would make life too easy. Should be a good time tonight, guys. Should be good. I'm hoping that tonight's going to be a good time. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Thursday night. We're just about on the weekend again for us here in our neck of the woods. It was a 4-day week because we had Thanksgiving last week. So, it's like I said, it's a 4-day week for us. And I don't know about you, man, but I love 4-day weeks, even though they sometimes feel long. Like today felt super long. Like it was a very Monday feeling Thursday. Man, I'm so glad it was Thursday. David, I see you here, my friend. Ooh, wow. Blizzard the Husky Anthro Puppy. Wow. I'm just gonna call you Blizzard, but I absolutely love your name, man. Your hair replacing my Legends Blitzwing with a DX9 Gewalt. I love DX9's products. Change out your Blitzwing for Gewalt. I can't say it's bad. I can't say it's a bad move. I like it as well. Let's see. Sarmatic Geek. Sam, you're here. Hey, buddy. MWG. Glad that you're here. Maximal 10. Hey, happy you're here. Maximal 10 helped me out today, actually. R. David Hill. The party peoples in the chat, they're starting to come around, my friend. Let's see. I have fan going too, but I'm not going to apologize. I'm warm. Starscream wife. She has a fan going, she's not going to apologize. I doubt you hear it. She just got home from dance. So, I mean, we'll forgive her, right, guys? We'll forgive Starscream Wife. Transformers Forever. Transformers Forever. Can't argue with you. Although I did have a little bit of a crisis of faith last week. Little do many people know, though David knows this. Last week, I felt really dejected with some things that were going on. Enough that I considered, about a week and a half ago, I considered just throwing it all down and walking away. I was really, really bothered by things I was seeing happening. I don't know. You guys ever have a crisis of faith? I'm just curious. Is there any info on Transformers Siege animated series? Not really, other than it's going to be on Netflix and coming out in 2020. Besides that, no, not really. Not that I've heard of yet. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be. I don't know exactly when it is premiering, but I would imagine that it will certainly take place on the last days of the war on Cybertron. We will see how it plays out. But trust me, Transformers Forever, as soon as I know something, buddy, you'll know something. Let's see. Bear with me here another second, guys. So I don't mind, however long or hold on. Where did that go? I was just reading what Sam had there and I lost it. Short live streams end up personally. Whatever you know what, Sam, I have to be realistic. Like I've seen some people and like they'll stream stuff and it's like 3 hours of a stream. No, man, I'm not watching 3 hours of a stream. I got things to do. Hey, Dale, what's up? The live show every Thursday night. Let's see. Background wife. Yeah, she was background wife. Can't hear the fan on my side. Interesting, Maximal 10, because it's pretty loud coming from my computer, and it's like right here next to me. Okay, if you guys don't hear a fan, then you don't hear a fan. Legit tuber. Hey, Transformers Robots in Disguise. I'm not sure exactly why you said it, but you know what? If your references to either one of the shows, I'm a fan of both. What? I'll never be healthy again. She'll be healthy again. She's just overly dramatic. What is your favorite Transformer? Wheeljack for a character, for figure. I always say Metroplex. I never get tired of that guy. Going down, I'm definitely skipping some of these guys, and I apologize because I want to try and get through it. Any move? I assume you mean on the Bumblebee movie sequel. Yeah, sequel. Okay, I get it. It's sequel. No. Again, though, I mean, here's the thing about a Bumblebee movie sequel. It was mentioned, but if you look at the docket of movies that Hasbro has planned, Transformers is nowhere on it. I think because they're giving the franchise a little bit of a break. However, there is some untitled type of project scheduled for 2021. So I would suspect we may see the next installment of anything to do with Transformers in 2021, maybe 2022. It's a long ways off, but it'll be here before you know it. So I don't know. I mean, we could be surprised, but I haven't heard any news on it other than it looks like the earliest we could see something for a Transformers film. And I don't even know if it'll just be a film or if it will be a crossover, would be 2021. From the UK, Dale. Gotta be late in the UK, buddy. I absolutely appreciate you staying up late and spending some time with us. You guys must be heading into Friday, though. Yay for the weekend, man. Let's see. Be a proper scale even with my Chuck, because Gotbot would be a proper scale even with your Chuck collection. I can't argue it. I mean, scale a lot of times is in the eye of the beholder, but I can't argue with your logic there. Let's see. Can Can I sing the Energon? I can absolutely not sing the Energon theme backwards. I wouldn't be able to sing the Energon theme forwards, if I'm honest. Gotbot ranted and raved about sheeple. I did, and when I did, David be a bad influence. Said, "Hey, bring your rage to the live show." I'm not bringing my rage to the live show. This is a good time. This is supposed to be a good time, and I've had you people say before that sometimes what we do here kind of lightens the mood for you with things you have going on in your life, and that's what I aim to do, man. Have a good time here. So I don't want to bring that rage, but I do feel like that, and this is part of why I had the crisis of faith last week. I feel like a lot of people are lately showing the colors as being followers, and followers to a corporation. Don't, man, don't. It makes us all look bad. Don't be a follower to a corporation. Be a follower to your good product and your own buying sensibilities. And that's what I try to do when I do reviews and whatnot. I'm trying to give you guys information so you can make informed decisions about what you want or don't want. Even if I buy something and I don't think it's very good, great. You know what? Don't waste your money on it. Find a better iteration of that character, you know, a better representation of that character, so that you can be as happy as possible. You know, there's nothing worse than buyer's remorse, and that's what I'm trying to save you guys from. I hope I do a public service. I don't know if I do. Let's see. It said 2020. Maybe it did say 2020. I thought it said 2021. I wouldn't expect something by 2020. I think that's going to be too soon. That's about a year and a half for Bumblebee. I don't see it happening. I don't. It might, but I'm not holding my breath for it. You guys are really talkative here tonight. Crisis. You saw me today. Crisis. I did. True. Maximal Template was going through a crisis today. It's a fair point, my friend. I say it on different. Okay, well. Yeah, I like, and maybe it is 2020. Blizzard, you might absolutely be right. And if it is, great, wonderful. But I did also hear that they're looking to take a break. And the last I heard was at earliest, maybe 2021. Here's the thing. We're in 2019, late 2019, almost 2020, and we haven't heard anything about a Bumblebee sequel. No promo, no stills, no director, no script, nothing. They're not going to release a film in 2021. They can't do it that quickly. It takes a couple of years to do a film. It's not going to happen that quickly. Of course, I've been surprised before. So who knows? I could be surprised again. My wife is very understanding and puts up with all of us. She puts up with me daily, man. That's a chore in and of itself. I am not pleasant most of the time. I have a lot of doubts about the fandom I'm invested in. What? I have a lot of doubts about the fandoms I'm invested in or the creative projects I'm working on. Granted, I have a lot of doubts about myself. Here's the thing. I don't have a lot of doubts about myself. I don't have a lot of doubts. I didn't until recently have a lot of doubts about the fandom. And I honestly thought I was doing a good service. And after things I've seen, I've been like, maybe it's not a service. Maybe people just like to waste their money. I don't know. She had a hole in her favorite sweater. Going down. Oh my God. You guys tonight, man. You guys tonight. He just answered my very first question. Just now, he must get the comments sent him late. Yeah, I it's not that I get the comments sent to me late. It's that I'm trying to read and catch up, man. And maybe they are coming in late because, like I said, there's something saving here, so they might be coming in late. Kato, happy to see you here, buddy. You, Sardo, and who I like to affectionately call Triple R. You three guys had a great stream earlier with Punch Counter Punch. It was great to see him on there, and it was some great questions that you talked about. Some really kind of hard-hitting questions. I don't remember them all now, but I know thinking at the time, man, I had answers for that, but I was in the middle of trying to do some things before I had to go and pick my father up from the airport. So I couldn't chime in as much as I wanted to, but it was a great show. If you guys haven't checked out Punch Counter Punch with Kato, Sardo, and Rolling Redneck Reviews, who I affectionately call Triple R. Check it out. It was a fantastic show. Everybody knows by now my favorite Autobots, Wheeljack. What about favorite Decepticon? Anyone you'd want to see rival against Jackie? Shockwave. Always been Shockwave. Probably always going to be Shockwave. Tiff Fangeek, happy you're here, my friend.
Did you just say your favorite Decepticon was Shockwave?
My favorite Decepticon is Shockwave.
And it's not Starscream Wife?
It is definitely. I can guarantee you that my favorite Decepticon is not Starscream Wife. We are not friends. Just saying, man. Kato, yeah, Kato's late. He missed absolutely everything. We've gone through it all, man. The only thing we haven't gone through is complaining about where you've stored the treasure. And I'm getting real sick and tired of not having that treasure, buddy. Just saying. Heading down to Jersey tomorrow. Enjoy, Marco. Road trip. Enjoy. One in the morning, Dale. Holy moly. Gus, watch me some guy. I appreciate it, Dale. Trust me. It's stuff like that. Dale just said that it's 1 in the morning where he is in the UK. It's stuff like that that blows me away, that humbles me. When I say to you, I'm your host, I'm your humble host. It's not just words, man. It's really not. I can't believe that there's anybody who has enough interest in the content and the opinions that I provide that they would give me their time that time of the morning. It is beyond appreciated. It really does mean the world to me. Armani Unicron for the win. Can't argue with you, buddy. Are we still talking about that? No, we are not. Starscream Wife still talking about it. Although earlier David and I were talking about it privately, so that's why it came up. Let's see. And Larkin, hey, I'm glad you're here too, my friend. Just swipe by to smash the light. Gotta go pick up the kid. Of course, Larkin gotta go pick up the kid and be a good dad because Larkin's always a good dad. Okay, so I'm gonna ignore you guys for a few minutes. I'm gonna go through a bunch of these and try and get a whole bunch of things out of the way. Very first thing, our trivia question this week. Easy one, guys. Super duper easy one this week. Who was the first character we saw in episode 1 of G1? So who was the first Transformer that we saw on screen? And who was the last one to speak at the end of G1? So who was the very first Transformer that we saw in the first episode of More Than Meets the Eye? And who was the very last character to speak at the end of the Rebirth here in North America? A, was it Optimus Prime for the beginning and Galvatron at the end? B, was it Bumblebee at the beginning and Cyclonus at the end? C, Wheeljack at the beginning and Zarek at the end? Or D, Bumblebee at the beginning and Zarek at the end? A, B, C, or D? So we'll see here now. Come on, I know you guys know this. This is a simple one, guys. Simple one. TF Fan Geek, Wheeljack, last, Zarek. I'm warm. Sorry, Manic Geek. I'm warm. Last week they said I look like Woody Harrelson, so I mean, take that for what it's worth. Wheeljack first. Devlin got Wheeljack first. C, yeah, the going is C. And the answer is yes, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is C. We also had some pickups this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be putting up the review of Siege Thundercracker. And I wanted to point him out here. Actually, I'm going to point a couple of seekers out here because in the review, the blue that's used on his shins will look like it doesn't match. And if you Bumblebee, then you know that depending on the light, his yellow plastic and yellow paint either matches or absolutely does not match. In the daylight, in sunlight, the blue that's on here absolutely matches them. And this is a weird blue. It's very much like the blue that is on the hands of Siege Starscream. It's a odd blue, and it was an odd mix to do these legs. Here tonight, it looks like a pretty good color match, but You'll see in the review that it's not as good, or it doesn't look as good under those fluorescent lights as I'd hoped that they would. By the way, fun fact, when I finished with that review, I actually, talking about injuries from last week, I actually injured myself, and I have a pretty bad burn from one of my lights. I'm after taking the skin off of it twice. It's not pretty. But he will be coming up tomorrow. He is one of my pickups from the week, and I've only seen him once in store. So I'm happy about that. I also had one ordered, so I actually set a buddy up with it. And I also was asked by, I think, Dinosaur Planet to kind of show the Rainmakers and what I did with them a little more closely. So I do that in that review. And again, it's with this guy, Ion Storm, it looks like the blue doesn't match that well, but the blue actually does match quite well to the naked eye. It's just under those fluorescent lights, it doesn't look like it matches that well. Fun fact as well, these two guys, a lot of people say, oh, if you have this guy, then you've got a Thundercracker already. No, you don't. Actually, in hand, though here they don't look like it, in hand, they're actually extremely different blues, very different blues. On camera, it doesn't pick it up the same, but they're very, very different. I will also here now, just very quickly, for the sake of just showing them, you'll notice that I did the red and the white on the wing. You can see the blue here. It's a pretty decent match on camera here. Also, I will be showing this guy up close in that review. This, of course, is Acid Storm, and the green that's on him, it's all I can call it is a warm neon green, not a cool neon green. Cool neon green next to him looks like a pea green, but it's warm neon green. That's what you need. And I will look at this one closer. 6 different yellows. It was really hard to match, especially because there's 2 different color plastics on Nova Storm. But nevertheless, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So those pickups and the reviews for next week will be Mirage. And the only other Mirage that I've ever handled is the Combiner Wars one. I never had the classics. I've never, ever handled it. So that'll be a treat with that Mirage, actually. Barricade, who's going to have an uphill climb because I'm not sold on the mold. But I do like the fact that we're getting a Barricade, even if it's not exactly a G1 Barricade. Most of you already know why it's not a G1 Barricade. And, of course, we have Impactor, who's a character that I really don't know squat about, other than he's the leader of the Wreckers, or was the leader of the Wreckers before Springer. I don't know. Somewhere along the way, wasn't Magnus a leader of the Wreckers? No, I think that was Transformers Prime. I know, but I'm just saying the Wreckers have a very storied history. Let's put it that way. So there's some of the pickups. Really, really kind of stoked to take a look at some of those guys. The Triptychon from last week with the labels, I have not had a chance to touch that. Episode 6 of Universal Collision, still working on it. Still a lot to do with it, man. It's an episode that I'm really proud of, and I'm really looking forward to it. Slow going, bear with me. That's all I can say. The story is coming. The story is done. Just bear with me. Dinosaur Planet, we were just talking about you. I think it was you who asked me to show the Seekers closer. If I'm not mistaken, it was you. So it's coming up. It's coming up tomorrow. I just wanted to point out that the way it was filmed, it looked like the colors don't necessarily match, especially the blue, but they do. Trust me, they do to the naked eye. Also, Dropkick. I just this week looked at and put up the reviews for Shatter, who all but shatters on you. This is a train wreck of a mold. It's so sad. I'm so happy to have a version of the character, but I'm really hoping that a jet version of her will be leaps and bounds, head and shoulders better, because this one's not. It's my second one. I had to return the first one. I've never returned figures in my life, and I've had to return Studio Series figures. I've had to return Siege figures. Everybody talks about how wonderful they are. No, they're not, because I've never returned figures until these lines, because the tolerances very tremendously. The saddest part is that the first version of her that I had actually had better tolerance shoulders than this one does. But I couldn't move the ankle. It's like it was glued. It's like it was one solid piece. But we saw artwork or concept artwork for Dropkick this week. And he largely looks like this Dropkick, who I think does embody the character better. As the kind of concept art shows, this guy is missing on the back. Instead of having like a roof of a car, really what we should have is the back of a helicopter with the rotors coming down. And where we have this black tummy piece, that should really be where the cockpit sits. And I've since learned that the blaster here that makes human beings go pop really should have a lot more blue on it than just pure black. Nevertheless, this is definitely a nice rendition of the character that really captures the bulkiness, the heft, the bruiser quality of the character. I like the helicopter, and I think it functions a little bit better. But for aesthetics and looks, I think this is the guy you want if you want a representation of Dropkick in your collection. But that's not the only news we got from Studio Series this week. No, we actually got a few reveals. First, we've seen now Soundwave with Laserbeak. And a while ago, I was having a conversation with Tynificent and someone else. And I said, I think that because of the plastic content in grams that's going to be used for Soundwave, because we're getting him in Laserbeak, Soundwave is going to be small and because you have to account for Laserbeak. And Ty was like, oh, yeah, probably. And whoever it was that was talking with us was like, no, Gotbot, you're crazy. He's going to be big and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, he's not. He's a deluxe. He's going to be little. He's going to be about as little as Jazz. And guess what? He's about as little as Jazz. Why is he as little as Jazz? Because you have to account for Laserbeak. He looks glorious. Very silver, very monotone, but he looks fantastic. Laserbeak looks boring. He's just a boring gray with little red dot eyes, but the mold for Laserbeak looks amazing. Not necessarily the Soundwave for me, but if you're into the movie lines, he's a fantastic Soundwave, no doubt about it, even if he is small. We also got news that we're apparently going to get no images or anything. This is considered unofficial, I guess, though I think it comes from postings that were maybe on Walmart.com, I think, for Deluxe Roadbuster, Jeep Bumblebee. So I assume that'll be yellow Bumblebee with a Jeep. So that it just like another Bumblebee. What is this? 7 Bumblebees? Is there anybody that even wants 7 Like, I'm not getting it. I'm not even remotely interested in it. And Shatter as a jet. Please give her a head and a face sculpt that makes sense, because what we have is atrocious. And leader Overload. I assume Overload is one of the Constructicons. Don't know anything about any of them, though I have finally started to see them show up here. I'm not really in for that Devastator. I don't think, at least not at this moment. I would be if prices were reasonable, but more and more I'm having to pick and choose, and that's a big investment to make. Just saying. I don't think I'm in for it now, not unless I get a huge windfall. We had other reveals from the week, and I know you guys are talking. I just want to get through these other reveals from the week. Flame Toys showed off their Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. Last week I mentioned Nemesis Prime. We've already seen Optimus Prime. They're all the same thing, recolored. Looks great, but it's just the same mold reuse. Makes sense. Why wouldn't you reuse it? You can. The real exciting news is that we're getting an Autobot Megatron, and that looks glorious. I love his fusion cannon. We also saw the Farai kit for Devastator. I'm not sold on that. The green is too deep. I don't like the purple thighs. It has a very Studio Ox look to me rather than G1. It's not my aesthetic, but I'm sure it's a solid model kit because Flame Toys does a good job with them. What else did we have here? Prime One Studios showed off their movie Soundwave with Ravage. Again, it's a statue. It's a piece of art. It's not a toy. It's a high-end collectible. It looks amazing. The paint, the sculpting, it's gorgeous. I'm sure it costs hundreds of dollars, but it is gorgeous. One of the images that they showed had it in line with other Prime One Studio offerings, and you know what? Like, I can't argue it, man. beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Not for me, but beautiful. That's not all that we had this week. Hasbro and Yoko Park apparently are releasing a figure. I think it's just going to be a figure. I don't think it's going to transform or anything. That's a 24-inch Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie with an endoskeleton that I think interlocks. I keep thinking along the lines of like that Magnus that we saw that had the skeleton with the parts that go on it. I think this is a different company, but I think it's going to be along that line. An Optimus that's the size basically of Metroplex. I don't know. I'm sure it's high end. I'm sure, again, it's hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. It'll scale with nothing, but it will look glorious. So if you're really into Optimus or the movies, maybe it'll be up your alley. I don't know really where it fits in, but I know that there are people out there that will definitely go bonkers for it. And I can't blame them. I'm sure it'll look beautiful. Hallmark fluff balls of, I think, Bumblebee and Optimus. I don't know what these are. I assume that there's some sort of like Christmas tree ornament thing. I have no idea. Shockwave Labs 61 has a light up matrix and leg fillers for Star Convoy. Looks great. Kind of like with their Triptychon, like it looks beautiful. I love what Shockwave Labs does. I have a couple of their sets, none of the things with LEDs that light up. It's not for me, but if you are interested in having a matrix for your Star Convoy that lights up, hey, Shockwave Labs will have you covered. Larkin, I'm thinking you, buddy, are probably going to buy it because, it seems like it's right up your alley, and I know you have Star Convoy. And finally, for reveals for the week, the last reveal for the week is by 115 Utopia, and they revealed something a while ago that was an upgrade kit that I thought was glorious, and now they're doing another one that's glorious. It is leg fillers for, if you haven't already heard, it is leg fillers for this guy, Impactor, because we all know that he has very hollow legs. So it's leg fillers and apparently some back fillers for him. I don't know much about it yet. I don't have him out, so I guess we'll see when I'm getting him out, because we all know that just because the rest of the world is impressed by something don't necessarily mean I'm going to be. But that's a solid kit. I like what, 115 Utopia has my attention. I like what they're doing. We'll see what they come up with. Okay, I'm going to check back with you guys. We're through a good bulk of the show, actually, a good bulk of the things that I wanted to cover. It's just a couple of things left. Oh, I'll mention this too. Apparently, Yo-Jo coming to Transformers Earth Wars just announced just before we went on air that apparently G.I. Joe characters and vehicles are going to be entering the fray. Cobra and G.I. Joe are entering the fray of Transformers Earth Wars. I like the crossover idea. Not sure how it's going to work for Earth Wars. I haven't played it in a long time. It got to the point I couldn't really make any progress. So it wasn't for me. But for anybody who's an Earth Wars fan, I think that it's about to get very interesting. And I support it. It's a great game if you're into to the like mobile gaming. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to check out what you guys have been saying, because it's been a little while since I've seen what you guys have been saying. Bear with me. I apologize that some of this is going to be gone back and kind of out of time, because you asked it a while ago and I babbled on about other things. But let's just see. Thundercracker. Let's see. If you guys were talking amongst yourself, that's great too. That's the thing. While I'm here doing the show and I'm talking about stuff, I'm happy when you guys have conversations in the chat, because it shows that you're a community with each other too, and I love that. Do I recommend Chugger and Provider? I like Provider better than Chugger, even though most people are the other way around. I recommend Provider. Chugger's all right. There's a couple of options out there. I wouldn't jump necessarily on Chugger, but if you do, I can't blame you. But I don't know enough about it to really be able to tell you for sure. It's not bad. I just don't know if it would be the one for me. Provider, yeah, I'd probably go with Provider, to be honest with you. I think it's a good figure myself. Yeah, I understood what you meant to go with Gewalt. I would definitely go with Provider. I'd look at the options and see if Chugger is the right one for you. Fancy Cell, Transportation Captain, is better next to Gewalt. It's funny. I was just about to say, look at the options and see what works for you. Personally, I like Fancy Cell, but David beat me to it. Ouch. I assume you're talking about my burn. If you saw it, it's even worse, man. Said the thing about the customizing. I'm the one who wanted you to say, oh, you were the one who wanted me to say humble host. Maybe it was. It wasn't TF Fangeek who said it about wanting to see it up closer, I don't think. I can't remember who it was. Chris, happy you're here, my friend. Yes, I guess pea is warm. This is true. But I assume you're talking about the pea green. And when I say pea green, it's like, you know, the peas that come in peas and carrots. Like, it's not even like it's like snow peas, like the bright, you know, yellow or green. It's like that ugly dark green that's with the peas in a can of peas and carrots that your mom made and you always detested as a kid. And now that you're an adult, you see it on the shelf and you're like, why do they even make this? Who eats this garbage? It's that disgusting pea green when you have a cool neon green, a warm neon green. That's what you need. So bright, yeah, very bright. Going down here. Mirage is pretty good. Weird leg transformation. I can handle weird if it's clever. Impactor, yay, Impactor. Everybody's excited about Impactor, but like I don't even know the dude. I'm sure he's cool. He looks cool. I love the purple and yellow and orangey color. TF Prime, Viacons. Gotbot, can we see Barricade with TF Prime Viacons in review? No, you can't, David, because I don't have any TF Prime Viacons. Never. I've never handled the mold. I've never had a Viacon. I don't know what they're like. I've never seen them. I've never seen them in store to buy them. I've never seen them, like I've never seen them around. I've never had the opportunity to have a Viacon. I've never had one. I'm sure that he would look great with them. I would if I could, but I can't because I don't have any. Explaining who oh, well then TF Fangeek, there you go. I gotta go back and check that out, explaining who Impactor is. Yep. I will absolutely go back and check that out. I've paired Smashdown with him. Who did you pair Smashdown with? Impactor? And almost on par with Sentinel. Ooh, yeah, he's almost on par with Sentinel. He's an asshole almost on par with Sentinel. Really? He's that bad? That's bad, man. Just saying. Even though the 3-pack has a Hollow Mirage, still a better deal to me. Why is the 3-pack a better deal to you? Because I'm debating it, but I'm just curious, Dinosaur Planet. Why is it a better deal to you? Going down here, I'm going to go back, watch television. Good night, Dennis, and start streaming. Good night, you. Enjoy your night, my friend. Mirage is great. Was wanting Impactor more, but Mirage was a nice surprise. I guess I'll find out. You guys know more about this than I do. What are the Earth Rise rumors? Going to get to that shortly. Be patient, Green Turtle Gaming. I missed it I meant to bring it up last week and I missed it, and I apologize. Dinosaur Planet is transparent. Let's see. Just ordered my Mirage. Thirsty for Blue Streak and Smokescreen. Past an Impact. If you're in for the Prowl, like if you like that Prowl, I think you have to get the Blue Streak and the Smokescreen. I'm sticking with the classics. I like them better personally for me in my collection. But I was like, I'd like to have the mold, which is why I picked up Barricade. We'll see what I think of them. I don't think I've bought a studio series that hasn't had trouble staying together. That's sad, Kato. I've had some good studio series, but I don't know if the quality is being maintained over time. I like the Megatron, the one that I use for Violent Jogger. I love that mold. Let's see. So I may let's see. Sent you an email, blah, blah, blah. You guys having a chit chat here yourself, which is fine. Also, she's one of my favorite. You know what? Here's the thing about Shatter. Like Sam just said that Shatter is one of his favorite Decepticons. Here's the thing. I loved the character. She was so like suave and calm and had a certain air about her of decorum. But then when things got serious, she was nuts, and I loved it. And I loved that we had a strong, like, female villain that didn't turn into a spider. That was the thing I liked. So I'd like for her to get a good figure that does justice to the character, and that's what I'm hoping we get with the Jet version. Reason why I don't buy Bayformers or SS, I can understand that. I wonder if there will be a 3P Shatter or something. There will guaranteed maximum 10 be a third-party Shatter, but she'll probably be. She'll probably be like an MP or an MPM type of scale. She'll be huge, I suspect. You know who could do it well? I think. Who was it that done Peru Kill? Was that Unique Toys? Unique Toys would probably do Shatter very well. They also done a great Optimus. Shatter and Dropkick. What? Yuma and Chronic? What? I don't understand, Sam, what that is a reference to, my friend. So, I want, okay, going down. The guys working out, look at the guys working out deals in the chat. Starscream Wave, okay, I'm out. I'm really tired. Have to have a good day. Are you? She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. Are you jumping on the? Too bad he's a leader price for. I agree, Eddie. He is a leader price for a Voyager, and he shouldn't be. It's a little bit ridiculous, I think. But you know what? That's what they're doing, and I explained what I think is going to happen with all that next week. Leader now is going to be Voyager going forward. 2 or 3 years from now, we're going to say, well, that's your Voyager figure, and that's the price for a Voyager figure, and the price for a leader figure is going to be what a commander class is now. Like, where I think that they're taking the whole dynamic, and now they're shifting the size classes again. We're never going to have Legends again, I don't think. Deluxe is going to become the new Legends. Marvel Legend Wolverine equals Dennis. If you say so, Marvel Legends, Million Starscream Wife, Marvel Legends, Fat Thor equals. If you say so, I don't know anything about Marvel Legends. I really can't speak to it. And I'm pretty much down here again now, because you guys are luckily having a chat amongst yourselves. I really like that Shadow was a strong female villain who didn't have to rely on her minion for muscle. She didn't have to rely on Dropkick for muscle, but you know what? It didn't hurt that he was there to do the dirty work, so that she didn't have to dirty her hands if she didn't want to. Not until she was ready to. And that's what I like about her. She was very much in control. Uni Toys did do great looking movie figures. They did. And we're down. Okay, so Shadow was a good villain. Yeah, Joker's right. Shadow was absolutely a good villain. Yeah, Deluxe will shrink they will shrink to Legends, but they're still going to be called Deluxe so that they can keep charging the Deluxe price and we won't think anything of it. Or most people won't. Sheep won't. Right, David? Sheep won't think anything of it. Okay, so just to finish off the last few things here. Actually, there's only 2 things left. One is actually 3 things left. Cyberverse, we saw some art. It looks nice. It gave us a little bit of insight into the art style and the development of that. We also had shown off this week the tiny turbo changers. It's not for me, and most of them were characters that we know already. Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Grimlock, Shockwave, Megatron, Soundwave, Acid Storm. But we also had announced Silverbolt, though I didn't see it, so I'm not exactly sure if it's a plane or if it's Silverbolt, like Beast Wars that would go with, say, Moon Cheetah or Cheetor. Jazz, who I don't think we've actually seen on the show yet, though I could be wrong. Sideswipe, same thing. Don't think we've actually seen him on the show yet. And Black Arachnia. We have Cheetor. Might as well have Black Arachnia. Let's see what sort of havoc she can come up with. Okay, so the couple of Earthrise rumors that I've heard. The first one is that apparently we are going to be getting a Battle Master Sky Spy. Now, if you're not familiar with Sky Spy, my understanding is that Sky Spy is the little part of Teletran 1 that goes out and actually scans for alternate modes. So apparently we're going to get that. Evidently, there's the rumor of it. We'll see. Obviously, it would be the sort of thing where now Sky Spy has a robot mode. Think think what we got with one of the duocons. Which one was it? Which one was it? Name eludes me. You know who I'm talking about. The 2 Legends figures. They had, I can't believe the names are eluding me. They had 2 separate robot modes that they never had in G1. Somebody's going to tell me what it is. Battle Trap. Thank you, Green Turtle Gaming. Think of the same thing. Like, we all know that little thing that went out and found all the alt modes in G1 and never had a robot mode, but I guess now it would have a robot mode. The other one, I think, is very obvious. And a lot of the rumors that I've given you guys have proven to be true sooner or later, so take it as rumor for now, but I'm pretty confident in what I'm about to tell you. I predict that by about the half-year mark, probably summer, I predict that we are going to have an Earthrise exhaust, Decepticon exhaust, using, of course, the Wheeljack mold. I knew it last week. Actually, I knew it a little bit before last week. So some people may have even heard these rumors already, but that's the rumors. I've known about them for about 2 weeks now. It's just I neglected to bring them up last week. I'm totally in for both if they prove to be true. 100% down in for both. Let's see if they actually pan out. And then that brings us to the very last thing here. So I just want to check back in with you guys before we do the last thing. And because I know you guys have been having a little bit of a chit chat over here. And I didn't miss too much, luckily. I just got to find where I was. Where was I? Bear with me here a second, guys. I'm not a villain. What are you talking about? I'm not a villain. You don't even know what you're talking about, Cybernetic Geek. Just saying. I'm a good guy. Starscream wife, she's a villain. I'm a good guy. Careful, the sheeple will catch on. I don't think the sheeple are gonna. I'm not worried about the sheeple catching on, David. They hear and see what they want to see. Yeah, RIP, Generations Legends class, FOC, POTP. I agree. Mark my words. A year or 2 from now, you'll see how this goes because we already have signs of it. Reflector was a small deluxe. Now we have Cliff Jumper, who should be a mini bot, coming out as a deluxe. Mark my words. I just started collecting Legends too. Chris, look, stick with Legends. We had a golden age with them. Stick with your Legends. Trust me. Just a suggestion. What about what? Bootlickers as opposed to sheeple. You can use what you want, but I kind of like the sheep reference. But you could also use a bootlicker, I suppose. That's just one term I'm very familiar with for corporate apologists. I could see using that, Sam. Absolutely, you get the idea. Thanks, guys, for saying that it was Battle Trap. I appreciate it. Roller. Actually, Chris, the roller apparently, because a lot of people mentioned it and said, "Hey, that is." Rook used his roller. Actually, apparently that was a fan who bought it to see if it would fit in the trailer. Apparently that's not an official thing. Apparently it was a fan who bought it. However, it would make sense to me that they should do a version of roller. I guess we'll see if they do. They won't catch on to the reference of Shiba Bot. They'll catch on to it. They might. Explore, repair. Yeah, definitely got to explore, repair. Absolutely, you got it, buddy. Joker's a villain. Joker is a villain. That's true. Sorry to be late. Any news on Sunstreaker? No news that I've heard. Trent on Sunstreaker. A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, I'd want a Sunstreaker from the Red Alert Sideswipe mold." Why? That would be totally wrong. It would look like tire tracks with a Sunstreaker head. Sunstreaker needs a brand new mold if he's going to be done. It's like when people want the Seeker mold to be used for the cone heads. The Siege Seeker mold does not remotely work for the cone heads, not even a little bit. It would look terrible. The Earthrise one, that will work for the cone heads. I want battle chargers. Well, we're getting one battle charger since it would be a straight up repaint to give us the other one, you know it's going to happen. Yeah, I can't wait for them personally. First Legends from you ordered, Eddie. You ordered your first Legends from Iron Factory. I love Iron Factory and their products. I will be shocked if you're disappointed. If anything, I think you're going to become addicted to Iron Factory. They're fantastic figures. They really are. I got Jack Hound, Jazz. Wow, you Magic Square Optimus is a nice one too. Eddie, I think you got a solid lineup, absolutely solid lineup. And going down here on the Generations Wave 1. What? I'm buying all of the Generations Wave 1. So 2010 Generations Wave 1, FOC Wave 1, Thrilling 30 Wave 1, Combiner Wars Wave 1. Why are you buying all the Wave 1s? Green Turtle Game. I'm just curious. Why all the Wave 1s? This keeps going down. Doesn't Cliff Jumper being deluxe mean Legends are getting bigger? I think that in the short term it might mean that Legends are getting bigger, Kato, but I think in the long term we're going to see them get smaller and smaller and smaller. And a Legends soon enough will be the size, or a deluxe soon enough will be the size of a Legends. We'll be like, hey, remember when these things were called Legends? Just saying, mark my words. You look back at a Voyager, and here's like evidence of it. You look back at a Voyager from 2006, 2008. Vector Prime, for example. Vector Prime is the same height as, say, Titan's Return, Overlord, which means a Voyager was a leader class size. What size is a Voyager now? Like a big deluxe? You know, I'm just saying, like, pay attention to what's going on here, guys. Dum dum dum. Yeah, pretty much. Conspiracy theories all over the place tonight. There was a 3P roller. There was a 3P roller? Really, Max? I missed that. If there was a 3P roller, I missed it. Fragile, if I recall. Okay. Well, you guys know better than me. Mastermind Creations, R34. Cylindrus. Was that the roller? Sam, was that the roller? Mean Green is trying to be a completionist. Maybe, but I don't understand why you get all Wave 1, because the Wave 1s look amazing and I never got the chance to own any of them. And also because why not? Dare I say, why not? Okay, you do. Listen, man, you do you, right? You got to do you. Chris, anyone remember 2006 Deluxe Bumblebee Generations Cliff Jumper? Yep, I do remember that. Absolutely do remember that. I think because Hasbro went from China to Vietnam due to tariffs, all new toys made in Vietnam. They can be made in Vietnam. Fine. I just hope the QC is better, because their QC right now is trash. Here's the thing. Part of the reason that I wouldn't go in on anything too big or expensive or exclusive from Hasbro is because their QC is trash. And if it breaks, their customer service is trash. I don't trust the company. There are people that are loyalists. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. That's where I'm to with them. Say what you like. Battle Roller. Yeah, Battle Roller was good, Trent. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. It was based on the IDW version. Yeah, it was. And I don't really follow that. TFC Toys, Battle Roller. Yeah. I totally forgot about that offering, guys. Good for you guys. Clap for you guys. TF Club. Yeah, there was a TF Club one, but I mean, who pays attention to the TF Club? Compare all the way ones, Battle Roller. That sounds amazing. Trust me, third parties are no better. If it breaks, you own it. Can't agree with you, Joker. I've had issues with third party before and had them replaced. I trust a lot of third party companies more than I trust Hasbro, because I've had experiences with them where the figure has been outright replaced. I didn't get that from. I couldn't get a 1 gram plastic tire from Hasbro. So just saying, my experience, I can't agree with that assessment in the least. Hope all gets stolen and taken to China, made by Black Mamba, or they're not all going to get stolen and taken to China. What we're going to see is KOs pop up in Vietnam. They're going to do the same thing China's done. The thing was from 10 years ago. Of course, you don't remember it, Gotbot? Probably not. I'm old, right? Like, I don't remember stuff. Never had one replaced. What? Never had one replaced. Gave me a run. I'm sorry to hear that, Joker, that you've had it back. I guess it just shows that we all have, as fans, we all have different experiences. I've had great ones with third party. I've had garbage ones. Every time I've had an issue with Hasbro, it's never been solved to my satisfaction. Not once. And I've voiced it because they always have like a survey feedback thing. I've voiced it and it doesn't help anything. I end up having to go to other fans like you guys. I have to go to the community to help out. I've never had an issue with replacing figure or part from any third party I've dealt with, and often with something extra thrown in for their trouble. Yeah, Kato, I'm the exact same as you, buddy. Gotbot had a senior moment. Oh, I am a senior. I mean, have you seen the side of my head? You guys have been watching me for a few years. Do you see how this has changed? I'm just saying. Yeah, especially Iron Factory. Iron Factory has an excellent reputation for their customer service. Okay, so the last topic that I got to cover, and then we're going to get out of here. I don't know. I've been on here a while, I'm sure. I don't even know how long I've been on here. How long have we been on here? A long time, because you guys talk a lot. Yeah, we're almost at the hour mark. Hey, Kato, I'm closing in on how long Punch Counterpunch was. Okay, last thing, Universal Beijing. Yeah, we're all going to the theme park, guys, in China. And they're not going to have a Transformers ride. They're going to have a Transformers land. And I think the way they're approaching it is brilliant. They're going to set up the whole thing to basically be Metro Base, a Titan-class city that is, I guess, what you're experiencing. And within that, there's going to be, of course, a lot of attractions and shows and this and that and the other thing. It's been confirmed that they will have a Transformers-themed roller coaster in there that's going to be like the Incredible Hulk roller coaster from Orlando. So if you know that roller coaster, then you have an idea of what this one will be like. And if you know the Transformers The Ride, a version of that will also be in Universal Beijing. But I think that for fans, the big deal here is that it's going to be an immersive experience where you actually get to be like in a Titan, in a city that's in its city mode. I think that's so cool. That being said, I won't be the least bit surprised if there ends up being like a Titan class Metro Base figure. Wouldn't shock me in the least. I won't get it because it's no. But I'm sure that there are people out there who absolutely will. Scorponok. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. That's going to be my swan song, and I cannot wait for him at all. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Going down here an hour. Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to be short, and it never works. Let's all get tickets right now. Yeah, let's all get tickets. Imagine if we went as a group. Wouldn't that be fantastic? That'd be excellent. Yeah, everybody goes a tad long when we're talking about these robots, guys. Gotbot paying for it. No, I'm poor. I ain't paying. I'm poor. In Japan, they are Gundam themed rides and experience. Is that true, David? Are they actually Gundam themed? Take my money. I would. Anyway, guys, that's it. We've got a long time here. That's everything covered. It's been a great show again. I appreciate you guys coming by. You know how much I appreciate it. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description. As always, thanks for giving me some of your very valuable time. Don't forget, somehow, some way, each and every day, you do make a difference. And I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together, either here in the live streams at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way, man, inside the videos.